welcome and God bless you. Please, would you please grab the noise of your neighbors to your left and to your right and shake hands with them? Good afternoon, good morning. Right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Get to meet someone new. All right. So, like I said, well, as you're posting online, don't just post. Let's make this go viral as much as we can. We are using the hashtag Broken Brotherhood. I'm going to spell it for us so that nobody gets it twisted or gets it mixed up. Beg your pardon. Okay, yeah. Hashtag BROKEN. B in uppercase, caps, capital or capital letters, and then space BROTER THER800 or double OD. So it's hashtag Broken Brotherhood. It's what you can see here. Broken Brotherhood, no space, hashtag in front. Be the first person to do that. And even if you are not the first, as much as you can, join yourself to the bandwagon and let's make this go very, very viral. Before we go ahead, as a matter of fact, we have not started because we don't start until we say thank you to the owner of our lives and to the one who does great and mighty things. Are we together this afternoon? So, taking us in a quick opening prayer. All right. Taking us in a brief word of prayer as we start this is a person that is very special. I know him in person. I don't know if you know him, but I know him in person. He's a very special person. Great man, good man, solid man by every level of standards. Ladies and gentlemen, Broken Brotherhood Brooklyn, please make welcome Mr. Israel Yakilo, man, icon, as he takes us in an opera. Please put your hands together for him. Make it very loud. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's be upstanding. Let's begin to give him praise. Thank him for it. Father, we thank you. We return our praise to you. Thank you, Lord, for this special day. We give you praise. Thank you. Thank you for the month launch. Begin to thank him for everything, for our lives. Thank him for the book that came at this time. We give you praise, we give you praise, we give you praise, we thank you for everything you have done. We return all praise to you. Be magnified forever. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Father, we thank you. We give you praise, we give you adoration. Thank you for this special day. Thank you for the book that came in this moment. Father, we return all praise to you. We decree and declare that as we move on, let your glory, O Lord, envelop us in the mighty name of Jesus. And at the end, let your name be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Israel. Thank you so much for helping us start properly and adequately and appropriately. We are not stopping actually. I warned you ahead of time. I want to encourage you again. Please fasten your seatbelt because we will not stop. As we have started, we are not clapping, we are not taxing, we are moving straight up and we are hitting it as hard as possible. Taking us further in this epic event, like I said, is someone really special, a major stakeholder in this movement. As a matter of fact, the reality is that no man does life all alone. I am not in the place to say a lot about the owner of the property. We'll come talk about property by himself with his mouth when the time is right. But then taking us in the special session of an eye-opener, something that will spark the fire in our hearts, is my sister and friend of many years, Mrs. Ayoade Kikiowo. I don't want to tell you what she's doing, but please make her welcome and put her hands together for her. Thank you.
The weight of silence. Let me begin with something Nigeria knows how to do. Let me begin with silence. Nigeria is very good at silence. We learned over 50 years of burying our young with no explanation. We learned it in a way, woman forged uniform that can never be worn again. We learned in a way university issue statement, court related, and then says nothing, court related. Two words: a life, a code, a code, a code, a closed case. I want to tell you about a boy. He was from Edo State. First in his family to get into university. His mother cried when his admission letter came. She said, God has finally shown his face. His first semester, he made friends, good friends. Who knows your name before you tell them? The kind who said, you remind me of myself when I was here. The kind who said, look after yourself. By the second semester, he was looking after them. By the third semester, his mother was looking for him. She found him on a Friday on a road she had never been to, outside a city she had never visited, in a way no mother should find her son. The press release said, court related. How many court releases are you? How many have you read those two words? How many times have you read those two words and turned to the next headline? Because Nigerians have taught us this. Nigeria taught us that court-related is a kind of weather, something that happens, like flooding in Lagos, like fuel scarcity, like bad road, things we cannot change, things we accept. Nigeria has been teaching us acceptance for 50 years. Let me show you what has been accepted. In 2004 alone, over 5,080 documented deaths court-related. 580 Nigerians in 1 year. What we know of, because the police commissioner said 90% of court deaths in Nigeria are never documented, which means the real number in 2004 alone could be close to 6,000 lives. Now let me put beside something else Nigeria talk about: banditry. In 2004, banditry killed 1,452 Nigeria. The army mobilized, the president spoke, the newspaper ran for weeks. Cultism killed silently, possibly 6,000. We'll learn the word court-related. I want to talk about the machine, because this is not boy fighting in the street. It is not an organization. It has ranks. It has chapters. Over 12,000 chapters. In university, polytechnic, secondary school, and the primary school where our children are still learning to read. It's an initiation, a night, a room without window, a court, a covenant. Once a young person walks into that room and walk out, they do not belong to themselves anymore. Who sent them there? A senior who seems kind, a friend who has always been there, someone who spoke in the language of belonging, because belonging is one thing every young Nigerian arriving at the campus is hungry for. We have taken the hunger of our children and turned it into a trap. I want to speak to the fathers in this room. You sent your child to school to become something you never had the chance to become. Every school fees was a prayer. Every result was an answered one. The young child is being approached. Maybe not yet. Maybe already. The approach does not look like danger. It looks like friendship. It looks like brotherhood. It looks like finally someone sees me. In this city where nobody knows my name, if you don't know what to say to them, you leave the conversation to someone else. and someone else has answer. They have been preparing this answer for months. I want to speak to the mothers, to the one who sent their children off on a Sunday evening and got a call on Thursday, just came. The one who had buried a son with no explanation, just 2 words, court related. I want you to know, Nigeria has been counting, and today Nigeria is no longer accepting. Because here is what today is. Today is not a book launch. Today is not another panel discussion that ends with refreshment and handshake and nothing changes on Monday. Today is the day someone who is inside stands up and tells the whole country what exactly the marching works, its entering point, its language, its promises, its oaths, and its exit door. And there are exit doors, even when the syndicates tell you they are not. Today is the day the first civilian declaration of war against cultism in Nigeria is read out loud. In this room, in this city, on this live stream before this nation, a generation has been under a siege. They have been dying in silence between our headlines. They have been recruited in gaps between our prayers. They have been lost in space between our policy and the campus where our children are supposed to be safe. No more. The one who was inside is about to stand up. The movement that has been waiting for a day to begin is about to begin. Feel the weight of what is happening in this room, because it is war, and it starts now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make that applause very loud for no other person but the very first lady of this beautiful movement. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ayoade Kikiowo, for that thought-provoking time of spoken word. Once again, thank you very much. Right, I would like to say that it's important that we get this really loud on the social media space. Hashtag Broken Brotherhood. Take a selfie, say something, make it really loud, and let it go viral to the ends of the earth. Again, the hashtag is Broken Brotherhood. Thank you in advance for making that happen for us. As a matter of fact, records have it that not less than 20% of fatalities in tertiary institutions in southwest Nigeria, where I grew up and went to school, is court-related. What a way to open our eyes to certain realities about what we are doing here today. This is a just cause worth fighting. I said it before, I will say it again, that this is not just an event, this is not just a gathering. This is a ferocious movement that has started, never to be stopped, never to be curtailed, or never to be discontinued on whatever ground, for whatever reason. Can you please put your hands together once again for that? Right. The reality is that we live in a country where almost nothing is safe. And then this could have been unavoidable if we were able to attend to menaces like this. At some point it looked just like child's play, like the way call it where I come from the part of Nigeria that I'm from. They used to call it child's play. Now it's gone beyond child's play in the tertiary institutions. Now it's growing wings, flying in the air, even in secondary school. You will be amazed and amused if you see the numbers of court-related activities happening in secondary schools, in the shores or in the 6 geopolitical zones in our beautiful country called Nigeria. I am a teenage advocate. I teach teenagers. I live my life around them, and I know for sure, without any form of doubt or equivocation, that this is a major menace that we need to fight. Ladies and gentlemen, what is interesting here is that the best person to start a fight against
Mr. Tunde, myself, my family, and the entire team of Broken Brotherhood, we want to say thank you, we love you, we celebrate you. Thank you, always coming through, always supporting us. We love you, thank you so much. Thank you. I can't measure everybody to all the Kuza family, my neighbors, my comrades. I want to appreciate you especially. Thank you. I'm so glad. And everybody joining us online, we love and celebrate you. So without wasting much time, the testimony. I'm standing here to you not to read a book. I didn't study this in university or do research to know about it. I was inside of it at a point in time in my life. I walked through the gates, not by force. I felt it was the best decision for me at that time. I went through it. I was in there. I saw a lot of things. And I've been out also for a while now. And I've seen life also from the outside. And one of the guiding principles that I stand with is, which my master mentor always, press on me. I'm talking of no other person than Pastor Biodun Pakoinko, the global senior pastor of Commonwealth of Zion Assembly. We are saved to save others, blessed to bless others. My coming out should not just be for myself. We have a lot of young people out there, ignorance of what they are doing, don't know the depth of what, the weight of what this thing carry, that are still there. Aside from people that are inside, we have a lot of young people in our institution, in our community, in our church, in our various space that they keep inviting, sending invitation to them day by day. And what is the benefit of putting so much that you want to raise your kid, you want to raise your teen, sending them to a society where you are not guarantee of what the society can turn them into? What I know, I can't unknow it. And the best we can do is to see how we can transform it into what can, what can help other family, help other people out there to be the best of themselves. Something broken, as you can see, the shame. And we're trying to break the myth with this movement. I wrote this book. I've been on it for over 5 years. Day by day, since I left it, there's the burden, there's the prayer that we need to go back to this system and bring people out. Every day, every day. I believe strongly it's a strong leading from the Lord. And I want to tell everybody watching us, day by day, people are dying in this country. People are dying day by day. Court related, that's what they call it. But what we call court related, people are turned to untimely widow. People career are disrupted. Our nation's schools become unsafe for young people. Our community, it cut across every spectrum of our society. Court related, we call it. In this room today, I want you to know something is starting. Not a book. Not a book. We are starting a movement. We are starting something with the intention to change the narrative. It has been with us for so long. Over 50 years, cultism has been operational in our country, Nigeria. And it seems like a normal thing. Go to our social media, our so-called influencers, celebrity. They wear it with gladness. They wear it with honor. They wear it with pride. And it's because the media has projected the wrong narrative. Make people feel it's a thing being cool. Changing crime. Someone committed murder. We call it court-related. Someone committed assault. They water it down. Court-related. Someone carrying arm unlicensed. Court-related. Someone constituting nuisance in an institution. Court-related. We water down crime. We water down numbers. I can tell you for truth, for facts, cultism have killed more people than banditry. day by day we lose people. But it's not on the headline. Soldiers are not mobilizing, police are not mobilizing. We do our roadshow, we do campaign, and that's why we're taking a different direction on this course. Part of the research I did, I noticed anything that we persecute continue to grow. The persecuted gay movement, what do you notice? It keeps spreading. The persecuted Christianity, what do you notice? It keeps spreading. Persecution gets things to grow. When cultism started, we started shouting, no to cultism, no to cultism, no to cultism. But that's not the same language people inside there are using to get people in. I didn't get in by force. I know the danger attached to it, but I still choose to enter it. Why? Because they offer something different. What cultism confraternity group are looking for is gap. And a position as a perfect remedy for that gap. A child that lacks love from home, they are looking to fill it. We give you that belonging. Someone that lost confidence in himself, we will give you the confidence. Someone that needs to rise politically, we tell you, we give the assurance. We have people in power that can give you the rise. Someone, a musician that needs to rise.
Anybody, will tell you, if anybody accosts you, accost the person back in response. No time, nobody can harass you in loud. The only thing they can harass you with is money. My class back then, we had 2 car parks, one for lecturers, one for students. The reality is that the student car park is jammed even more than the lecturers' car park, right? So it feels like back then we had very minimal court-related issues. But where I lived on a street that was very rugged. We used to call it Ayoade. We say by the rules we live. I was working in the night one day, or at the time I was pastoring my campus, but I wasn't young, I was pretty old, and we were coming from a joint campus Christian prayer meeting in the night around 3 a.m. thereabout. And as I was walking towards my hostel, someone raised an alarm, loud voice, right behind me. I didn't see his face, so of course I was coming from a prayer meeting, strong man in the spirit, but very weak physically. I was scared, and the guy came close and said, "What do you carry?" Like that, of course. I mean, what do you have in your pocket? I said, "Nothing." Said, "Take it out." Then I had a Motorola Blade, royal blue, beautiful phone. I'm a twin. He had a baby big, I had royal blue, so we were twinning on it. I pulled it out. He said, "What else do you have?" I had maybe something there of cash in my pocket. I brought it out. I had a Bible in my hand, and that was all I had. He said, "Put it down here." I was literally shaking. And at the end of it, he just posted as the last. He thought out to be my church member. Someone that I was pastor. Part of it was embarrassed, but then the strong man asked me, strong guy, I just slapped and said, "I know serious. Hold on, what was that? You know what? Cultism takes courage from you. The reality is that there are not so many pastors that are fine and anointed at the same time. You can argue with whatever you want to argue with, but I make bold to tell you that my pastor is a fine boy. Yeah. You don't need to argue. But if you have eyes on your head, you will see very well that this, my pastor, is a king boy, a fine boy looking for anointed to the feet. Please, once again, please help me celebrate my pastor, my leader. Thank you so much for being available. Mrs. Osiji, thank you so much. Chief Superintendent, Nigerian Correctional Service, thank you so much for availing yourself for this. Mr. Kikiowo, please step forward for a minute. We are about to go to the launching proper. Please, will leave us on, leave us.
And told no one where I was going. Looking back, I think a part of me understood, not consciously, not in a way I was prepared to name it loud, but the decision not to tell anyone, the instinct, belonged to a version of me that already knew that's not something I could tell to people that I trust. I arrive at the club, the car was waiting, I get in, and they drive. The road I know, the familiar shape of the city, we navigated to a place I don't know. Later I realized all those paparazzi was part of the message. So it was around 10. We went inside, I was asked to take off my clothes, everything. I'd been told that there will be initiation with a process, but I was poorly counseled. You know, before I joined, when I heard about it, mafia, I consulted a friend of mine that I know was more into some of this, and I asked him, "Do you know about mafia?" Because he told me it was Mardi Gras Association of Friends in Africa. I tried to search online, and what I got was just Italia pictures and videos, you know, not looking valid. So I called one of my friends and I asked him, and he told me, "Oh, this one is civil, posh structure, not like Black House or AA. It's not dangerous." Me, I'm not that violent, so I thought this was, you know, a perfect fit for me as a posh guy on campus. So I had not mentioned the part that I had to put on my clothes in front of a lot of people. After that, I was blindfolded, not in a refined way, not posh. And I began to hear language that is so men with stick, unknown from places I don't know. They began to beat, not symbolic, not ceremonial. They were beating like someone that was caught stealing something. I was on the ground. So I would not pretend that I was brave. I was not brave. I was terrified. I was in serious pain. I was thinking, I'm going to get broken, fragmented. I was under serious assault. And what drove me there? I wanted to contest for the national presidency of the Student Association, National Association of Ondo State Students. The influential government official I met then told me there are people in government that could secure and deliver that backing and the access I need. But only if I demonstrated that I belong to the same family with them. So I had lost my SUG election. I was contesting for SUG president, so I lost that election. So now I was more determined. I'm not losing this one again on a bigger stage. The ambition had me building in me since then. So I first understand that student politics could. I really understand what student politics could do for a young man who wants to go somewhere. So that ambition had driven me out of my house at night with a bottle of alcohol and a decision I had not told anyone about. I'd been driven to here to the floor in pain. When the beating stopped, it stopped without warning, and the way it started, I was carried into a room. I can hear other people before I can see them. Many of them, they are formed a circle, and I was brought into the center, still naked, still on the ground. The blindfold was removed. A needle was brought out into my palm. Blood was drawn. There's a scrub, something like a cow horn, and a blood is put into it alongside the blood of other members in that circle. The blood mingled. The covenant is sealed before the word of oaths were even spoken. Then I repeat, I hear them in my own voice, the loyalty, the secrecy, and the lifelong obligation, and I repeat each line as I speak. Sense, deep, unexamined, and something is being transferred, unwritten, metaphorical, but usual. Then giving me a name, Lorenzo Santa Bassi, the true Sicilian, an Italian name in the tradition of the organization, whose pattern they have adopted, the pattern of Italian mafia, the godfather structure, the hierarchy of loyalty and the obligation, and runs from the newest initiated all the way to men who has phone, whose phone calls make things happen in government office. I have the name, I stand, I join the circle. They sing confraternity song, I join them, the orientation, hierarchy, code, direction begin. Then it is over. I was told to dress, I dress, I leave for my house. I get back in the car, I'm driven back through the road I know and towards the city I know. Back to the future I have been building. For the next 2 days, I could not leave my room. I was living alone and treated my injury in private, telling no one what had happened or where I went. The instinct still remains silent, persistent. I've gone to look for power. I've come back mad. what I did not know, what I could not have told you in that room, in those 2 days of private republic, in the months and years of political climate that would follow, is that the blood on that scroll had already been answered. That there was a covenant older and stronger than any oath I had taken in any room or any night. That a God who had been spoken into my life by my grandmother's prayer, my mother's faith, and the foundation of Christian hope, that had not released me simply because I walked out of the door at night without telling anyone. I knew where I was going. He was already waiting on the other side of the story I walked into. This book is the account of everything that happened between that night and the night he found me. Thank you. This is just a basic introduction of what is in the book. It carries the lives they missed, that they sell to people to join. It carries the struggle inside, how I was formed by Christ. It carries how Ayo got his redemption, how Dre got his redemption from Bacchus, how a lot of many other people got their redemption. And it also carries our marching orders. It speaks to parents, it speaks to the security agencies that are already in the forefront of the battle. It carries a message to young people in institutions that are yet to get the invitation. It carries message to people that are already inside the game and are afraid that there is no way out. It carries that message. So, to the glory of God, we launch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just a book, it is a tool of generational change. Please put your hands together once again for this global tool that will help end up and make changes globally. Thank you very much once again for letting us partake of this great fruit, Mr. Kikiowo. Right. There is a general conception that says when our society is faced with challenges like this, the best response is not silent. Sometimes the best of responses are they are enshrouded in conversations, dialogues, and discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to a very important part of this meeting as we start to wind it down. We will be having a panelist session, and three great minds are going to come and tell us, share their value, their wealth of experience. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you why I think this session is meant for someone like me. The closest I have gotten to cultism in my entire life is to act in drama. I did not even do it well. It's the closest. You look at me from here to say I come and have cultism. When you tell me, what will I say? How will I do? Imagine the kind of meditation that they give, but I don't. Look at my body now. Now, as in just imagine someone like you walk into that kind of stuff, how far? So right now, for some of us that are in my WhatsApp, I believe that in this room there are two classes of persons: people that have been close to that, and people like me that have never been anywhere close to it. I like to say that my mouth is very sharp, but my heart for God is sharper than my mouth. But my heart for trouble is as blunt as anything. If you make noise, I run away. Right. So I believe this session is concocted with people like us in mind, people like you and I. Two things will happen to you. Your mind will be enlightened, and your heart will be set on fire. The reality is that none of us that enter this place will live the same way we live. And what will happen to you? A thing like the fire in the heart of the authors of this book will land in your heart, and you will also feel like taking action and getting things done. That said, I do not want to belabor us any further. I would like to make welcome our three panelists. Mr. Ku, is
We have platforms in corrections where we can partner with any individual, organization, or NGO to assist in doing this thing. It is our job, but we need everybody. It's a whole of society affair, faith-based organization, and that is why I am standing firm with movements like this. I like to encourage this movement. I like to pray and encourage you. And this is a noble job. It is not easy. It's not going to be easy, but it is worth it. Please partner with us. We have platforms that you can leverage on to talk to these young people. We're talking about those that are with us. I know you go to schools. I want to encourage you to go to schools, go to organizations, go to all those platforms that you know. Use them, leverage on them to speak to people about your experience. Because there's nothing that disrupts people's destiny, people's lives, than when you exhibit antisocial attitude and then your life is derailed. Yes, you can make restitution, but there's some things that you can never recover. That's a fact. So please, faith-based organization, come work with us. But I want to leave us with something that I had prepared, and I want to read it the way it is so that I don't miss anything. I want to tell us that every inmate in our custody represents two stories. The story of a crime that has already happened. There's nothing anybody can do about that. But there's this other story, that is the story of a future that is still being written for everybody that's with us as an inmate, whether awaiting trial or convicted. We exist to ensure that the second story is better than the first. We owe that not only to the offenders, but also to the victims, to families, to communities, and to Nigeria as a whole. That is the only way we can truly fight crime and criminality in our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, PSC, Osudi, the PRO National Correctional Center. Thank you very, very much once again. So yes, Mr. Ayoade Kikiowo, thank you so much for having all of us today. But then I will have you give us the final word on this panel session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, and once again, I can stop thanking my pastor and stop thanking Mike. What we're starting to do, might look small, but the impact is going to travel far across Nigeria, East Africa, and the world. Those who believe that they can change the world are those who actually do it, because it requires some level of determination, courage to think you can change a system that have existed before you were born. But the confidence does not come from myself. It comes from something greater than myself. It comes from my faith in God. And one thing I've learned in my Bible is the weapon of our warfare are not carnal. They are mighty. And we're not backing. We're going to leverage every opportunity we have to drive this message home, to drive it. Because one thing is, like and keep driving as long as the truth is absent. Why cultism have stayed this long is a lot of people fighting it are fighting with the wrong tools and inadequate information of how it actually operates. People know that it's dangerous. People know that it's bad. People know that people die because of this thing. But day by day, people are getting recruited into it. It's not because they are not aware of the danger, but because they lack this cult group self something different from the danger it looks from the outside. And we will not stop. We will not be silent until we make sure people are making this decision, either to join or to stay away, on the ground that they are fully aware of what is at stake. They have the information, they are fully equipped. They are not making decisions from their ignorant standpoint. Because I know if with this information I have today, as at now, if I'm being given that offer, the same offer that led me inside, I wouldn't have taken it. So I'm going to take that message today. And I want to thank every of our volunteers and everybody that was to join us on this meeting. They are taking this message to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. Thank you everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, please a very loud round of applause for our panelists as they return to their seat. Thank you so much, stars and man, for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us.
So we've come to the most important part of this event, the declaration. So this is not a speech. What I'm about to read is a declaration. There's a difference. So a speech you forget by money. A declaration change what the money means. I want to begin by naming something that Nigeria has struggled to name for over 50 years. Not cultism. Cultism is the word we use in press release, in government reports, in newspaper headline, when we speak about it without wanting to speak about it. What I'm meaning today is the syndicate. The organized, deliberate, structured criminal network that operates on every major university campus in Nigeria, in most of our secondary schools, in our streets, in our community, and in the room that have no name, no address, with immunity and with the protections of silence. This syndicate do not advertise. It does not knock on the front door. It said someone you already trust, a senior you respect, a friend who has always been there. They call it an invitation. They make it sound like belonging. And then one night, in one house with no window, everything changed. I know this not because I studied it. I know this because I lived it. I was inside. I took the oath. I felt the court. I swore on the blood of men I did not know, to a covenant I did not fully understand, under a name that no one in my family have heard, not until today. The name Lorenzo Santa Bassi, the true Sicilian. I carried that name in silence for years. Today I'm burying it publicly, finally and permanently. In those years, while I was inside, young Nigerians were dying, and they are still dying today. Not in the headline, not on the front page of our newspaper, not in the speech of those who govern us. Between 1996 and 2019, that's 23 years, court-related violence killed at least 10,000 Nigerians. In 2024 alone, just 1 year, over 580 court-related deaths were documented. More than one Nigeria every single day. Because in a year we have 365. And here is a number that should shake a country's foundation. In 2024, banditry killed 1,452 Nigerians. The headline ran for a week. The military were mobilized. The whole country stopped to take notice. Cultism killed on record at least 580 documented in that same year. And the Anambra State Police Commissioner confirmed that what we all suspect, 90% of court-related killings in Nigeria are never documented. So if 90% of the deaths are not documented, are invisible, so we can say in that same year, in that same 2024, over 6,000 lives were lost to court-related activity. 4 times the figure of banditry in complete silence. And Nigeria move on. We have learned quietness without anyone deciding to accept it. We have accepted at our campus that what our campus should look like. We have accepted that that is the price we have to pay for growing up in Nigeria. We have accepted that some of our children will be taken. I'm here to say on this day in this room, in front of the camera and in front of everyone standing here, we are done accepting it. I wrote Broken Brotherhood not to tell my story. I wrote it because the enemy has operated in dark for long. Because silence has been their greatest weapon. Because no one who has been inside has ever come out, all out, and written down everything they saw. There are over 40 known confraternity groups in Nigeria today. Over 12,000 chapters operating in university, polytechnic, secondary school, and now even in our primary school. 12,000. Every chapter of this book is a piece of intelligence, how they identify their targets, how they approach, the language they use, and what promises they make, what the initiation involves, what the oath costs, and what the hierarchy looks like, what the protection comes, and the only thing that can genuinely break the chain. This book is not a testimony, it's a weapon. And today we are putting it in the hands of Anna. I want to speak directly to 5 groups of people in this room and on the screen, in Nigeria or wherever you're hearing from. To the students on campus right now. Some of you have received the invitation and some are still standing at the gate. One will walk through and does not take the other side. With the same hand, I walk through the gate. I'm telling you, don't walk through it. And if you have already walked through it, there is still a way out. There is only one, and it is real. And to the parents, your children are being targeted by people who have studied exactly how to approach them. The recruitment is sophisticated. The language is careful. You cannot protect what you don't understand. This book is briefing. Read it. Know the enemy that is watching your children. And to the church, the oath of confraternity is a spiritual covenant. It cannot be cancelled out or cancelled away. It cannot be prayed away without understanding what it is. The power that genuinely breaks this covenant is real. I'm standing here because of it. The church has a role to play in the war that nothing else can replace. Stand with us. And to the law enforcement, you have been fighting this with every tool at your disposal, often without the civilian partnership you deserve. We honor you for that fight. But the syndicate was not built by weapon. It was built by silence, by belonging, and by absence of a better story. We are here to give the next generation a better story. We need you to stand on this side of the wall, and to those inside who have taken the oath, who are bound by covenants you want to break. who believe that they only exist in a boss. Hear me. I was exactly where you are. I know what it is and the cost of living. I know the only thing that broke it for me. You are not forgotten. This movement is coming for you, and will not stop until you're free. Now, today, on this day, June 27, 2026, in this room before God, before the country, before the generation watching, and the generation not yet born, we name the Syndicate of Cultism in Nigeria as a national emergency and a generational crime. We commit ourselves as survivors, as parents, as students, as believers, as citizens, as those who enforce the law, as those who rebuild life on the other side of it, to the complete and unapologetic dismantling of this syndicate. We will not be silent. We will not be afraid, and we will not stop. This book, Broken Brotherhood, is the first document of this movement. It won't be the last. And on this day, we declare war. Not by government, not by an institution